For years, my parents forgot my birthday, but gave my sister a luxury car on hers. When I asked, "Why not me?" my mom laughed. "Oh, why would a cleaning lady need a sports car? You have no one to show it to." My sister said, "Look in the mirror before you ask for gifts." I left without a word and prepared a very special gift for their next birthday. The winter sky in Boston had begun to darken early, and Abigail Harper was hurriedly finishing her cleaning. There was skill in her movements as she breathed on the windows of the luxury penthouse apartment and carefully wiped them clean. She worked diligently at her cleaning job 6 days a week, from morning till night. "Abigail, you can finish up for today. We have carpet cleaning scheduled first thing tomorrow morning," said Sarah, her supervisor at the cleaning company. Abigail turned around with a smile. "Thanks, Sarah. Actually, I have an important lecture at night school this evening." Sarah gave her a genuine smile. "You're working hard on those business studies. I just know you'll succeed." Abigail smiled back gratefully. Sarah was one of the few people who consistently supported her pursuit of business studies at night. School, unlike her family. While riding the bus, Abigail took out her cell phone. Today was her birthday, but there were no congratulatory messages from her family. It was the same every year. Last week, she had casually asked her mother, "Evelyn, do you have some time next Wednesday?" When her mother asked, "Why? Is something happening?" Abigail had answered softly, "It's my birthday." Her mother had replied, "Oh, that's right, but I'm busy on Wednesday. I have an important meeting with a client." As for her father, William, before she could even mention her birthday, he had declared, "Everyone's busy this weekend because of Sophia's fashion show." He didn't seem to remember her birthday at all. Abigail had chosen night classes at the university to balance with her daytime cleaning job. The Harper family was wealthy, but her parents weren't enthusiastic about Abigail going to college. "You'll just get married anyway," was her father's common refrain. In contrast, her sister, Sophia, received full support to attend an elite private university. Though Sophia was more focused on parties and gaining popularity on social media than on her studies. After class ended, Abigail returned to her apartment and collapsed on the sofa. On the table was a single small cupcake. She lit the candle and sang softly, "Happy birthday to me." Her smartphone vibrated, and Abigail glanced at the screen. It was a message from Sophia, "Come to my birthday party next Saturday. Very important person invitations only." Abigail smiled wryly. Sophia's birthday was always a major event for the Harper family. Her parents would start preparations weeks in advance, inviting local VIPs and friends for a lavish party. In contrast, Abigail's birthday was forgotten every year. "I'll be there," she replied briefly. She didn't want to miss the only opportunity to gather with her family. Despite being blood relatives, she always felt like an outsider. On Saturday, Abigail headed to her parents' mansion to attend Sophia's birthday party. When she opened the door, the place was already bustling with dozens of guests. Abigail wore a modest navy blue dress but felt overwhelmed by the flashy outfits around her. "Abigail, you came." Sophia, dressed in a flashy pink dress, waved at her. "Everyone, this is my sister. She works as a cleaner." Abigail felt her cheeks flush. Sophia always announced her job in public, treating it like an amusing joke. Midway through the party, William and Evelyn stood up to get everyone's attention. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today to celebrate our beloved daughter Sophia's birthday," William announced loudly. "She is our treasure and our pride, and today we have prepared a special gift for her." Evelyn presented a small box with a large ribbon. When Sophia opened the box, a car key appeared. "It's a new Mercedes-Benz," Evelyn exclaimed excitedly. "A red sports car, perfect for you." Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Sophia was jumping with joy. Abigail stood quietly while her own birthday was completely ignored. Her sister was given a luxury car. The unfairness brought pain to her heart. Near the end of the party, Abigail was alone in the kitchen, washing glasses. Her parents and Sophia approached her. "How was the party?" Evelyn asked. There was no genuine interest in her expression. "It was lovely," Abigail answered quietly. "Congratulations, Sophia, nice car, isn't it?" Sophia said happily. "Perfect for an Instagrammer." Abigail finally gathered the courage to ask, "Wednesday was my birthday. Did you remember?" A moment of silence followed. "Oh, that's right," Evelyn said lightly. But I told you I was busy. Abigail took a deep breath. Keeping her expression calm, she said, I understand. She quietly began to gather her things to leave and silently opened the door. Spring sunlight brightened the streets of Boston as Abigail, having finished cleaning the business district, checked new emails on her smartphone. She received news that Greenwave, her small company, had secured contracts with 2 more luxury condominiums. That's the way. Abigail encouraged herself in a small voice. Greenwave, the company Abigail had founded, used only environmentally friendly cleaning products and emphasized sustainability. As environmental awareness increased among the wealthy, her business was gradually gaining attention. More than just a cleaning company, Abigail had established herself as an environmental consultant, offering advice on reducing clients' environmental footprints, which was highly valued. Using her business knowledge from college, she constantly improved her business plan. Professor Thompson from her night school had become her mentor, providing valuable advice on launching her new business. Abigail, your business model has wonderful potential, Professor Thompson had said at last week's meeting. The demand for environmentally conscious cleaning services will only increase. Abigail hadn't yet told her family much about her business. They thought she was just working part-time in cleaning. In reality, she already employed 10 staff members and was building a reputation in Boston's upscale residential areas. In her apartment's small office space, she had hung certificates of appreciation and business magazine clippings showing her success. She had even been recognized by local environmental organizations, but she had no family to share this joy with. As Abigail's next birthday approached, she wanted to celebrate with her family. Gathering her courage, she called her mother. Mom, it's my birthday soon. Would you like to have dinner together? After a slight pause, Evelyn answered, Oh, that's right, but I'm sorry. I have an important meeting with real estate clients that day. William and Sophia will be attending too. The same excuse again. Abigail felt a tightness in her chest. I see. I understand, she replied calmly. Maybe next time. After hanging up, Abigail sat down on her bed. This feeling of disappointment had continued for years. Her parents failed to acknowledge her existence and always gave Sophia special treatment. Since childhood, Sophia had been called the family jewel, and her parents praised her modeling talents. In comparison, serious and modest Abigail was treated as the ordinary child. On the night of Abigail's birthday, she made pasta for herself, bought a small cake, and celebrated alone. A bouquet arrived from Sarah, and she received several congratulatory messages from her university friends. Still, there was no contact from her family. The next day, Abigail was checking social media during a break from work. What she saw made her freeze. There was a new post on her mother Evelyn's Instagram. The photo showed Evelyn, William, and Sophia raising champagne glasses at an upscale restaurant. The post was dated yesterday, her birthday. Abigail stared at the photo. They had said they had an important meeting with real estate clients on her birthday, but they were actually enjoying a lavish dinner. Her existence had been completely ignored. Scrolling further, she noticed another post, a photo Sophia had posted, showing her smiling in front of a dessert plate. The plate read, Congratulations on your success, Evelyn's comment said. To our family star, even more success. The pain stabbed at her heart. They hadn't just forgotten her birthday, they had celebrated something else on the same day. Abigail put down her phone and took a deep breath. Tears streamed down her cheeks. At that moment, her phone rang. It was Michael Bennett, CEO of a major environmental service company called Future Green. Abigail, I'm interested in your company's business model. Do you have time to talk next week? Abigail wiped away her tears. Of course, I'd be delighted. After hanging up, she strengthened her resolve. She couldn't continue to be hurt by her family's cold treatment. Perhaps it was time to reveal the truth and show her worth. She decided to visit her parents the next day. Evelyn's birthday and her father William's birthday fell in the same week in June every year. They held a joint lavish party and invited local CIPs. Abigail began planning to reveal everything she had built at this year's celebration. But first, she needed to muster the courage to ask, why did they only give special treatment to her sister? Why was her birthday forgotten every year? The next day, Abigail took a deep breath and rang the doorbell of her parents' mansion. Evelyn opened the door. She seemed to have just returned from the salon with perfectly styled hair and a fresh manicure. Abigail, what brings you here? There was surprise in Evelyn's voice. Abigail rarely visited the family home without prior notice. Mom, I'd like to talk about something, Abigail said quietly. May I come in? Evelyn hesitated slightly, then opened the door wide. Yes, of course. William and Sophia are here too. Come to the living room. Abigail walked across the luxurious marble floor into the spacious living room. Her father, William, was sitting on a leather sofa, looking at something on his iPad. Sophia was stretched out on the window seat, taking selfies. Abigail's here, Evelyn announced, and William looked up. What is it? Is there a problem? William's tone was businesslike. Abigail took a deep breath. I have something I want to ask you. Sit down. Evelyn pointed to the sofa. Coffee? No, thank you. Abigail sat down and looked directly at her parents. Last week was my birthday. A moment of silence passed. Evelyn and William exchanged glances. Yes, it was, Evelyn said lightly. But I told you I had an important meeting with clients. Abigail took out her smartphone and turned the screen toward her parents. I saw on Instagram photos at May. It looked more like a celebration than a business dinner. The smile disappeared from Evelyn's face. Oh, you were checking social media? Yes. We were actually celebrating Sophia's new modeling job. It was an evening that combined business and pleasure. Why do you celebrate every little success of Sophia's, but never once come to my birthday? Abigail's voice trembled. And last month, you gave Sophia a new luxury car for her birthday. You don't even give me a card for mine. You're not saying you want a luxury car too, are you? Evelyn's tone had a hint of mockery. Why not me? Abigail asked quietly but clearly. Evelyn burst out laughing. Why don't you have a luxury car? A luxury car wouldn't suit a cleaning lady. Who would you show it to? Driving a luxury car with a bucket and mop. Don't make me laugh. Those words stabbed Abigail's heart. She was about to talk about her company when Sophia interrupted the conversation. Are you jealous? Sophia moved to the sofa with a provocative smile. Look in the mirror before you speak. Abigail froze. Sophia's words hadn't changed since their teenage years. She always mocked Abigail's appearance and boasted about her own beauty. Their parents joined in the laughter. Sophia, stop it, Evelyn said, but her voice held no real scolding, rather an affectionate tolerance. Abigail, you have different talents. Surely something. William stood up from his chair and began pouring whiskey. Abigail, life is unfair. Sophia has succeeded as a model and serves as the face of our real estate company. Those with ability get the appropriate returns. Abigail clenched her fists. I work hard too. I clean during the day and study at university at night. Yes, that little maid playing at night school, William said contemptuously. It's good to have big ambitions, but you must see reality. With your looks, there are limits. William, Evelyn slapped her husband's arm, however. Her eyes were laughing. It's the truth, isn't it? William shrugged. Sophia is beautiful, sociable, and perfect for our business. Abigail, well, you're diligent. I'll give you that. Thank you. Dad, Abigail said sarcastically, I'm honored that you think diligence is my only virtue. Oh, did that hurt your feelings? Sophia feigned sympathy. You should accept reality. We all have different roles. I'm the one in the spotlight, and you're the one polishing it. Abigail slowly stood up. Something definitive changed within her. Until now, she had continued to hope for recognition from her family, but she realized she no longer needed it. She had her own value and didn't need to prove it, but she could teach them a lesson. Yes, maybe you're right, Abigail said quietly, but life can take unexpected turns. What are you talking about? Evelyn laughed. Is there some big change in your cleaning business? Did you buy a new mop or something? Abigail said nothing, just smiled. I'll see you again. I'll attend the parents' birthday party. Oh, eyes, Evelyn said, sounding surprised. This year is special. We're celebrating at the Ritz-Carlton Ballroom. As we do every year, I'll formally invite you. Formal attire, of course. Of course, Mum, Abigail said. It will be a special night, I promise. Abigail quietly left the house. Her parents and Sophia barely noticed her departure. Sophia was already engrossed in talking about her new job, with Evelyn and William listening intently. Outside, a cold rain had begun to fall. Abigail didn't have a car, so she had to walk to the bus stop. Walking in the rain, She fought back tears. Raindrops ran down her cheeks, mixing with her tears. Sitting on the bench at the bus stop, she took out her cell phone. A new email had arrived from Michael Bennett, CEO of Future Green. Abigail, after our meeting, I propose the acquisition of your company to our board of directors. Everyone is very interested. Greenwave has built an excellent reputation as a pioneer in environmentally friendly cleaning services and is a perfect fit for our portfolio. The following email detailed an acquisition offer beyond her imagination. The condition was that she would remain as CEO and direct international expansion after the acquisition. In the rain. A smile spread across Abigail's face. She began to write a reply. Michael, thank you for your offer. After reviewing the details, I accept. As she pressed the send button, the bus arrived. Abigail stood up and boarded with a determined expression. In her mind, plans for her parents' birthday party were beginning to take shape. They had looked down on her, dismissed her as a cleaner, as the ugly sister, but they didn't know what she had built. Abigail looked out the window and smiled quietly. From the top-floor office of Future Green headquarters in downtown Boston, Abigail Harper looked down at the city view. Her cleaning service company, Greenwave, had been acquired by Future Green, and she had taken on a new role as CEO of the International Environmental Cleaning Services Division. Abigail, the third quarter numbers are in. Her secretary, Emily, entered the room with a tablet in hand. Up 38% year over year. The board is thrilled. Abigail smiled. Thank you, Emily. The new corporate program has paid off. On her desk was a recent issue of Fortune magazine. Abigail's photo was on the cover. In just half a year, she had become a notable figure in the industry. Abigail stared at the calendar. 3 days until her parents' birthday. She picked up her smartphone and opened an unread message from Evelyn. Abigail, you are coming to the party, right? The dress code is formal, and maybe you could invite some colleagues from your workplace. William is interested in your company. He'd like to see if there's anything he can invest in. Abigail laughed coldly. Her parents had only heard the name of her company. They didn't know it had been acquired by Future Green. She hadn't made the news public, and in magazine interviews, she had used her maiden name. Her family was unaware of her success. Understood, she replied briefly. I'll invite some colleagues. Next, she headed to Michael Bennett's office. The CEO of Future Green had become her mentor. Everything is set, Abigail announced as she entered the office. My parents and Sophia don't suspect a thing. Michael stood up from his chair and smiled at her. Abigail, are you sure about this? Isn't there a more gentle approach? Abigail looked out the window. They've looked down on me. This isn't about revenge, but about telling the truth. They need to know my worth. Michael nodded. I understand. We'll fully cooperate, but promise me something. After this is over, I want you to look forward and move on. Live a life not imprisoned by the past. I promise. Abigail smiled. The ballroom at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel was filled with Boston's social elite. Nearly 200 guests had gathered to celebrate Evelyn and William Harper's birthday. As champagne was poured and an orchestra played elegant music, well-dressed guests enjoyed conversation. Abigail arrived a little late. She wore a simple yet sophisticated black evening gown with her hair elegantly styled, though she rarely wore makeup. Tonight, she had hired a professional makeup artist to bring out her striking beauty. As she entered the avenue, several guests turned to look. Behind her followed Michael Bennett in a suit and executives from Future Green. Evelyn noticed Abigail and quickly approached. Abigail, you came. Oh, and who are your companions? Mum, this is Michael Bennett, my colleague. Abigail introduced him calmly. Miss S. Evelyn Harper, happy birthday. Michael greeted her politely. Your daughter has been a great help to us. Really, Abigail. Evelyn laughed. It's rare that she's useful for anything. Abigail maintained her smile and said, Mom, where's Dad? Over there. He's greeting important guests with Sophia. Abigail and Michael headed toward William and Sophia. Her sister was in a flashy red dress, hanging on their father's arm. Dad, happy birthday, Abigail said calmly. William turned around in surprise. Abigail, so you came. His eyes turned to Michael standing behind Abigail. And this gentleman is Michael Bennett. Michael introduced himself. CEO of Future Green. Future Green. William suddenly showed interest. That major environmental services corporation. Abigail checked her watch. Shall we begin? Father, Mother, I've prepared a special presentation. While heading toward the stage at the center of the party, Abigail whispered to Michael, "Ready. Perfect." He gently squeezed her hand. "You're an amazing woman, Abigail." On stage, Abigail took the microphone. The venue gradually quieted down, and all eyes turned to her. "Good evening, everyone. I am Abigail Harper, the eldest daughter of Evelyn and William Harper, whom we are celebrating today." Her voice was steady. Never in her life had she been so full of confidence. "On my parents' special day, I too have prepared a special gift. But before that, I'd like to introduce you to some people." The doors opened, and about 10 men and women entered. "These are my real family. We don't share blood, but they are people who believed in and supported me." Abigail introduced each person. Sarah, who had encouraged her at the cleaning company, Professor Thompson from night school, clients who had first valued her business, and the executives of Future Green. For 33 years, I have lived in this family without having my value recognized. I worked as a cleaner, attended night school, and launched my own business. The Greenwave logo was displayed on a large screen. My company, Greenwave, started as an environmentally friendly cleaning service and is now part of Future Green. I currently serve as CEO of the International Environmental Services Division. A murmur arose from the audience. The color drained from Evelyn and William's faces. And tonight, I announce my special gift. Abigail displayed another slide. It read, "Harper Real Estate acquisition complete last week. I acquired all of my parents' real estate companies, of course, through formal procedures and at a fair price." William jumped up from his chair. "What? A real family isn't about blood ties. It's about people who respect, love, and believe in you." Abigail continued quietly. "And now, my gift. Dad, Mom, Sophia, I offer you a chance for a new beginning. Would you like to work as cleaning staff at my company?" The venue was wrapped in complete silence. Abigail smiled gently, put down the microphone, and quietly left the stage, heading toward Michael and her real family. "Let's go," she said. "I've delivered my gift." 1 year later, a large applause erupted from the gathered audience as Abigail cut the ribbon at the opening ceremony of the Green Life Center in downtown Boston. This center was a community space for environmentally friendly living, established with Abigail's personal funds. "Thank you all for gathering here today," Abigail spoke through the microphone. "I hope this center will be a small step toward a more sustainable future." Beside her stood Michael Bennett and executives from Future Green, looking proud. The Environmental Services Division that had integrated Abigail's Greenwave had achieved over 100% growth in the past year. Her innovative business model was becoming the industry standard, and Forbes magazine had named her Entrepreneur of the Year. After the ceremony, Abigail returned to her office and was checking the mail that had arrived. Among them was an unfamiliar envelope. The sender was Sophia Harper. Abigail hesitantly opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. "Dear Abigail, it's difficult for me to write to you, but I thought this was the only way. First, I want to apologize. I'm sorry for hurting you and treating you coldly for so many years. I can't and won't make excuses for my behavior. After that birthday party, our lives changed dramatically. Mom and Dad tried to start a new business with the money from selling the real estate company, but they failed. Without their reputation, it became evident that they lacked actual business skills. I'm struggling too. Modeling jobs decrease with age, and my income as an influencer has plummeted. I've been forced to face my own shallowness. I want to see you to talk. If there's a chance to repair our relationship, I'll do anything. I want to change too. With love." Sophia Abigail placed the letter on her desk and took a deep breath. For the past year, she had not been in contact with her family. She only heard about what had happened to them from mutual acquaintances. Her parents were financially struggling and had to give up their mansion. She didn't reply to Sophia's letter. She felt it wasn't the right time yet. However, Abigail was gradually beginning to reconsider. 2 weeks later, Abigail called her secretary. Emily, I have 2 requests. First, contact Sophia Harper. Tell her I'd like to discuss the possibility of an internship in our marketing department." "Understood." Emily took notes. "And the second, set up a meeting with a reliable investment advisor for my parents. I want to give them a chance for a new beginning." Emily smiled. "That's wonderful. Abigail. Abigail gazed out the window, but let them know this is not unconditional forgiveness. What makes a real family? That's giving to each other and respecting each other. If they understand that meaning, we can talk again. She returned to her desk and began reviewing documents for a new project. In her heart, she was determined to look to the future rather than be trapped by the past. She chose to live not to prove her worth, but to use her passion and talent. And when the time came, she could explore the possibility of a new relationship with her family. But now was the time to move forward with the real family she had built. Outside the window, Boston's spring sunlight shone, as if promising a new beginning.